All right, welcome everybody. So we're talking about division. Listen up, listen up. Talking about division. When it comes to division of fractions, we do not like division of fractions. Okay, 2/3 divided by 4/5. Gross. We don't like dividing fractions. It doesn't even make a whole lot of simple sense to us. Okay, and so when you're in 4th grade, you learn how to divide fractions. And they teach you to divide rational expressions, multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal. Does anybody remember what reciprocal means? Maybe not the opposite, but the upside down. Right. If you want to do 2/3 divided by 4/5, they say don't do that. Do 2/3 times 5/4. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to say, you know what? Division sucks. Multiplication is easy. So take this question and turn it into multiplication. We're going to keep the first one the same. Multiply it by the reciprocal. Okay, now notice how I flipped it upside down. And now here's the thing. When you have to flip everything upside down, you have to write everything again. So make sure that I always double check. Okay, that looks good. That looks good, right? Don't have a little typo here mess you up. Second piece of advice. Our next step is going to be to factor, right? Do not try to flip it and factor it at the same time. That's advice, okay? You could possibly pull it off. As a math teacher, I don't even like doing that. Okay, that's a little too risky for me. Flip it and then factor it. Okay, again, I'm going to go fast through this because you guys already know what you're doing. That's a GCF. Take out a 4. It's a multiplication. Factor this. That's going to be +3 minus 2. Again, we factored that one in class like 10 times already. And then on the bottom here, we're going to take out a 2x and left over with an x plus 3. Again, I know that was too fast, but you guys already know what you're doing. So now it's just a multiplication question, and multiplication is really easy, right? We're able to take the x plus 3s. We're even able to do the x minus 2s. What about the numbers here? A 10, a 4, and a 2. What are we canceling out? Okay, the 10 and the 4. What's left over? What? Yeah. Right. Now here's something we haven't really talked about today. What about this 2 and this 2? So they're not locked to anything. They're on different sides, but that's fine. But do they cancel out? No, they do not cancel out. Why not? It's a simple reason, a reason you would totally understand. This 2 and this 2, they're both in the bottom, right? This is not like 2 divided by 2. This is like 1 divided by 2 times 2, right? These two 2's are working together. They're not opposites. They're not canceling out. So those do not cancel out, okay? Our answer here is going to be collect everything that you see on top. What's the only thing left? A 5. On bottom, 2 and 2 and x. So it should be 4x. Now, simply put, that's it. Division, you just turn it into multiplication, okay? That's what you do. Now, I want to look at number 16 really quick, okay? Number 16 has 3 different parts, right? We've got kind of 1, 2, 3. We need to divide by this, okay? And then this part over here is like an extra part. We're going to do this. Cross this out. That's not that important. Let's just see if we can look at this question and handle this, okay? What we want to do is multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, but this right here is not a fraction. So how do we put this upside down to make it a, if it's not a fraction, how do we turn it upside down? Not quite. We do like this. Divide by 1. Right? Because everything is a fraction divided by 1. And now, when we want to do our multiply by the reciprocal, we do keep the first one the same, multiply by the reciprocal, and now the 1 goes up top, and this 4k plus 1 goes to the bottom. Okay, so you have to know how to handle this. You have to know how to handle this. How do you divide by something that's not a fraction? You just make it a fraction by putting it on top of 1. Now, from here, there's nothing you can do. That's because we've crossed out the other half of the question, right? But this is something that you want to be comfortable with. Okay, that's pretty much dividing, okay? To keep in mind when it comes to simplifying, multiplying, and dividing, it's all the same thing. Simplifying, when it comes to multiplying, you just pretend that it's simplifying. And then when it comes to dividing, you just turn it into multiplying, and then you pretend that it's simplifying. So all of these things are very, very similar, which is why we learn them kind of all at the same time. So yeah, I hope this helps. Dividing rationals, not too bad at all.